last masterclass, we discovered how to design our physical and digital environment so our surroundings stop fighting us and start fueling our focus. But once you have mastered your habits, your emotions, and your space, how do you pull everything together to perform at your absolute highest level and protect your mind for a lifetime? Welcome back to Mastering the Mind. I am so thrilled for our grand finale in episode 6. Over this entire series, we have unlocked incredible pieces of the mental puzzle. In episode 1, we learned that your brain thrives on a healthy baseline of entropy and flexibility. In episode 2, we unmasked the default mode network and how to escape rigid mental ruts. In episode 3, we wired new neural architecture through neuroplasticity and habit loops. In episode 4, we built a pause protocol to survive the amygdala hijack. And in episode 5, we cleaned up our environmental architecture. Today, we bring all of those pieces together. In this final class, we are diving into the neuroscience of ultimate focus, flow states, and how to build long-term cognitive reserve so your mind stays sharp, adaptable, and brilliant for decades to come. Have you ever sat down to work on a project, write, or solve a tough problem, looked up, and realized 3 hours vanished in what felt like 10 minutes? You weren't just working, you were in flow. Flow is the state of deep, effortless concentration where you become completely absorbed in what you are doing. Time seems to stretch or disappear. Self-doubt completely vanishes, and your performance reaches its absolute peak. Neuroscientists studying flow discovered something fascinating happening inside the brain. It is a process called transient hypofrontality, which is just a scientific way of saying that parts of your prefrontal cortex temporarily quiet down. Specifically, the inner critic network, the part of your brain that worries about what people think, second guesses your choices, and generates anxiety, shuts down. At the same time, your brain gets flooded with high-performance neurochemicals like dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins. In flow, you aren't fighting your brain anymore. Your conscious effort steps aside, and your accumulated knowledge, habits, and neural networks run at peak efficiency. Flow is the peak of short-term performance. But what about the long game? How do we ensure our minds stay resilient as we grow, learn, and age? The answer lies in a concept called cognitive reserve. Think of cognitive reserve like a savings account for your brain. Every time you step outside your comfort zone or learn a new complex skill, or force your brain to solve a difficult problem, you are making a deposit into that account. When you build strong cognitive reserve, your brain creates redundant, highly interconnected neural pathways. If one pathway gets damaged, stressed, or tired, your brain simply reroutes the signal through an alternate network. People with high cognitive reserve stay mentally flexible, sharp, and adaptable because they spent years training their brain like a muscle that needs constant, varied challenges rather than a fixed asset to protect. As we look across all 6 episodes of Mastering the Mind, you can see that mental optimization isn't about one giant magic trick. It is a system built on 5 core pillars. 1. Embracing flexible entropy. Allowing your mind enough structured chaos to stay creative instead of locking into rigid autopilot. 2. Short-circuiting the default mode network. Catching your cognitive biases and default mental ruts before they dictate your choices. 3. Leaning on neuroplasticity. Building positive habits through micro-repetition and clear cue routine reward loops. 4. Mastering the pause. Using breathing and tactical naming to survive emotional amygdala hijacks. And 5. Architecting your environment. Cleaning up your physical and digital space so good, choices require 0 willpower. When you combine these pillars, you stop reacting to life by accident and start designing your mind on purpose. To wrap up this series more clearly, let's look at how you can put everything you've learned into a simple, sustainable daily routine as your own lifelong brain scientist. 1. The morning environmental reset. Start your day by stepping into a clean, intentional space. Clear your digital desktop and set one primary, high-value objective before the distractions creep in. 2. The midday micropause. When stress spikes your focus or starts to fray, use the physiological sigh and the 5-second rule to bring your prefrontal cortex back online. 3. The afternoon deep work block. Protect a designated window of time for high entropy problem solving or creative work, pushing yourself toward that effortless flow state without distractions. 4. The evening reflection. Spend 2 minutes reviewing your day. Ask yourself, where did I let the autopilot take over? And where did I intentionally choose growth? This simple habit builds massive self-awareness and strengthens your cognitive reserve. As we conclude episode 6 and wrap up our entire Mastering the Mind series, which I can't believe, I want to leave you with one final thought. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever own, but it does not come with an instruction manual. You have to write it yourself. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me across all 6 episodes. Keep questioning, keep growing, keep optimizing your mind, and I will see you in the next series. I already have the next series planned out, and I'm starting to record those episodes as well.